Hey everybody, it's Becky and I'm back today with another video for you. This video is going to be about how to keep God in your children's hearts and with daily activities. So I've got some notes as usual, and also the lighting is never good in my videos, let's just be honest. But it's worse now than it seems like usual, at least it looks like it is in the viewfinder because the sun's going down, so it's like weird lighting over there, and then I've got my overhead light on, so just bear with me. I'm trying to figure out a place that I can film that's going to have better lighting. But in the meantime, this is going to have to do. So I have my notes, and I'm going to go over just some tips and suggestions that I have. The first thing is to make use of downtime, particularly in the car, to and from school and things like that. Talk about your plans for the day, pray for the day, and the things that might be coming up, activities that might be going on. Share highlights of the day on the way home from school or anywhere like that. And talk about God sightings throughout the day, like ways that they saw God working in their lives or just in nature in general, like a sunrise or a sunset or a baby bird or different things like that. And then try to have at least weekly devotions, if not daily devotions with your kids. I did a video about this a couple weeks ago about the books that we use for our daily devotions, and I can link that below. And then I would also suggest, in addition to doing devotions together as a family, to get them their own devotional book that's age appropriate. This one is for my 5-year-old, and it's God and Me devotions for girls, and this is the 2 to 5 age range. So what they do, and of course she can't read, but we read there's a Bible verse, and then kind of a little summary, and then there's questions. I ask her the question and she can answer, and there's a little craft or activity that goes along with the lesson. So that's a good thing for her. My older daughter has the same series of books, just obviously for the older age group. This one came from Amazon. The other ones that my older daughter has came from Family Christian. So you can find them pretty much anywhere. And it's from the company Legacy Press. So really recommend that. What else? And to attend different clubs and activities at church. Even if you aren't a member, I don't know of any church that will turn you away if you're not a member. We did that when we had a church we liked on Sundays, but they didn't have any kids activities. We would go to other churches for Vacation Bible School and Awana and different things like that. So check into that. If your church, if you don't belong to a church but you want to get active, then just Google it and find the churches in your area that are the same religion as you and see what events they have coming up for kids. So make going to church a habit so that your kids will get used to seeking God and fellowship in the church environment. So things that our church offers, they have life groups. They have Awana every Wednesday night, which I mentioned before is a thing where they get a book, and it pretty much, I think it starts at age 4 and goes up to 6th grade. And they get a book and they learn Bible verses, and then every week they go to Awana and they have game time and prayer time, and they recite their verses for their teachers and get it signed off on. It's a big deal. My kids love it. Another thing would be to volunteer at the church if they're having like a community event. Like the church we used to go to would have they would have a backpack ministry day where they would pack up backpacks for kids for school and food things for churches or for countries that didn't have, that were doing a food drive, so things like that. You can also find prayer groups and Bible studies pretty much for every age. Choir is a good one because most churches do have a children's choir. Vacation Bible School, which again is in the summertime usually, and it's a week, and they go every day of that week and learn different verses, and they have games and party time and gym time and all kinds of fun stuff. And then also there's something called Upward Basketball and Upward Cheerleading. So it's just a place where it's a church kind of, Upward is the organization, but many churches host them, and so they'll have their own basketball team and their own cheerleading squad. So encourage your kids to make God a part of their daily lives by inviting friends to church on Sundays and activities like Vacation Bible School and Awana and things like that. And we always make it a habit to pray before meals, even in public, because I feel like it sets the example that praying and being a Christian and all that is nothing to be ashamed of. We don't have to just pray at home. And also, my daughter actually reminded me of this. My older daughter, we saw an accident, and she said she was going to pray for the person that was in the accident. So that's always a good thing. If you see an accident, maybe you can pray for the person that was in that accident. And then make sure you pray with them before bed, something together that you say. But then also encourage them to have their own prayers that they say privately once you've left the room. They can pray for their friends, their pets, their teachers, the big spelling test that's coming up. Praying doesn't have to be super formal as long as it's respectful. And encourage them to change up their prayers so they don't get in a prayer rut and just say the same things over and over, because then you lose a lot of the value and the meaning behind what you're saying and who you're talking to. You just kind of become a robot and it becomes programmed. And if it's important to us, it's important to God. So, explain to your children that if it matters to us, then God's going to care about it. And it doesn't matter, especially with younger children, they pray about funny things. And it doesn't matter to God if it's something about, praying for a pony that they want to, go on a pony ride or whatever. I mean, God cares about it too. So there's no prayer too small. And then have them see you volunteer at church and be active in the church. They're never too young to help. There's usually something that pretty much any kid can do. They can help clean the sanctuary. They can stuff bulletins. They can, even be a greeter if they want to. It depends on the church. But there's always a way they can get involved and that you can be involved and they can see you doing that, and that sets a good example for them. And then also encourage them, if they get allowance or birthday money or Christmas money, to tithe that money. We're supposed to give 10% of our income back to God. And I think doing that now helps them in the future when they're older and they get that first paycheck. They're not going to, be tempted as much to blow the whole thing on themselves. They'll already be in the habit of, off the top, 10% goes to God. And so that's a good way to start that. Another way, I think, is to just find Christian and inspiring music. Not to say that you only have to listen to Christian music, because you don't, but it is hard to find music that's age appropriate, and even the edited versions of songs on the radio, to me, are still not edited enough. So we don't listen to the radio unless it's the Christian radio channel with the kids. But you can only listen to so much Barney and all those things. So it's nice to find popular, music that is still Christian and inspiring, instead of, kiddie music all the time. So I did a video about that, I think it was last week, and I'll link the video below, because there's a lot of really good bands on there and artists that it's music that I would listen to anyway, and it just happens to be Christian music, or it just happens to be music that has a positive message about self-confidence or something, but it's also good music that I don't have to worry about curse words being in or dirty meanings or anything being in it. It's clean music. So I'll link that down below. Another really good idea is to start a family blessings jar. So it's a way to take notice of the good things that happen to you every day, however big or small they might be. So whenever, something good happens or they see a blessing, they write it on a piece of paper with their name and put it in the blessings jar. And then at the end of every week, as a family, you get them out, you read over them together. So it's a nice way to listen to everybody else's ideas of blessings. And then maybe you could have a game out of it. Whoever has the most, notice the most blessings wins a prize. You don't have to do that. But that just seems like a fun way to get the family involved in noticing everything that happens to us throughout the day that really is truly a blessing. And another thing is to try to get into the habit of saying blessed instead of lucky, because lucky means it happened by coincidence, and blessed means that it was a gift. So that small shift in perspective really, I think, helps us to be thankful and mindful of the blessings that we really do have, versus just things that happened to us that were lucky. And then I think the last thing, let me check, I might have one more thing, is to play Bible games. Again, you don't have to just play Bible games, but it's a nice way to mix it up and put it into your game collection. You can do Bible Pictionary. You don't even need a board game for this. You can just get a marker board or a piece of paper and draw different Bible characters or whatever and guess that. There's also a Gestures Bible Edition, Bibleopoly, and then Bible card games. And I had a different one that came from the dollar store. It was a Bible trivia or a Bible character card game that came from the dollar store. But this one I got at Hobby Lobby. It's Bible trivia. And, it's basically just what it says. It has the name on one side, and then you have to, and what they did on the other side. And it says 56 two-sided cards. So that was just something fun that we like to play. And, it's good for homeschoolers, too. If you're wanting to mix up your games and add that into your Bible curriculum, that's good for that, too. So, yep. I think that's everything. So I appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video if you like it. You might have noticed that I've started to do this series every Monday. I mentioned in one of my other videos that I'm going to try to put one kind of Christian faith video up a week, one homeschooling video, and then one home and personal video. So it could be a home decor video, it could be organization video, a haul, a favorites video, something like that. So I'm trying to have between 2 and 3 videos up a week, but every Monday is hopefully going to be a video like this. So let me know if you like it, and please share it if you do, to help out maybe somebody else that might be looking for some ideas of keeping God in your life every day, not just on Sunday. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've gotten a couple of subscribers lately, so I really appreciate that. And welcome to the family, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.